Alright my friends, so it's time for us to go ahead and write more CSS code to make our code much nicer. So this is the final result and this is our code up to this point. So I want to go ahead and this video focus a little bit on the style. So here in my course item div or inside my course item folder, I'm going to right click and choose a new folder, new file. Sorry, I'm just going to call it course item.css. Alright. We are going to go ahead and use course item.css file to implement some style that is related specifically to this div or right here for each individual course. And going back here, I need to import it, so I'm going to import my style. Okay, so it was course item.css, right? Going back to the web browser, we can see nothing being changed because we haven't added any line here. But before doing so, I want to go ahead and add some classes so I can target my items here very easily. So for the title, I'm going to give it a class name should equal to the course __ title, right? For the span here class, I'm just going to call it course author, right? Author like this. And for the price, let's go ahead and also give it course __ price. Okay, and I have noticed that here should be 2 underscores, not 1. Okay, this is like the BEM notation. If you are familiar with the BEM notation, then it's just about styling and naming your classes. However, going back to our course item, I'm going to target all of these. So course, which is the parent div, okay, and for the parent div, I believe in the course list we have some code that is related to the course. So we can see the course image here, the style, the course image, and the course itself. This is not related to the course list. It is related for the course item. So what I will do, I will cut these and paste them here inside my course item. Okay, I think this is much nicer. And we can see nothing been happened because we haven't, let's say, touch it. Okay, this is very simple style. Another thing that I'm going to do here around my course div, I'm going to add a border. Okay, so we can see our code clearly, let's say, or let's see how it's going to look like. So as you can see, this is how we are going to see it. And also what I'd like to do is go ahead and add some padding from the bottom. Okay, so here I'm just going to specify padding bottom. Okay, let's go ahead and say, for example, 4 or 5 rem. Let's see how it's going to look. And we can see, I like it. It is really, really cool up to this point. Another thing that I'd like to do is to go ahead and decrease the size for the title. Okay, so dot course __ title, 2 underscores, all right. And the font size that I'm going to use, let's see font size. Let's go ahead and say 1.5, and we are gonna see it. Oops, it's too much because I haven't reset my web browser default settings. However, let's go ahead and use 1.2 for the time being. Later on, I'm gonna show you how to reset your default browser styles. And also, I'd like to push it away here from the, let's say, from the left. And we can see I'm gonna do the exact same thing here for the author, right? I wanna also push it away from the left. So what I will do, I will go ahead and I have 2 options. Okay, the first one is to go ahead and surround these 2 stuff in a div, so I can give one margin for this div right here, or I can add a reusable class here. For example, I'm just gonna call it margin -left. Okay, I am just gonna go ahead and say margin left. Okay, like 1.2 or 1 rem, let's say. All right, 1 rem like this. And I can go ahead and apply this class for any tag or any element that need a margin from the left. And let me show you that here inside my course item. I am just going to go ahead and apply this class right here. So m-left and m-left. Maybe you are asking yourself, hey, why you have tried this way? Why you didn't go ahead and surround these 2 with the div that we can go ahead and add a margin to it. Now, this is a pretty good question, but I think margin here, creating a reusable class, it's a better idea, because imagine that later on, then we need to add some let's say margin to other items in our web page. Then we do not need to go ahead and let's say create another div or doing all this kind of stuff. We can go ahead and only use this class right here. Very, very simple. Now, another problem that I see, because we can see the author and the price. It is in the same page. This is, or in the same line. I don't like it like this. We want to fix it, and in order for us to fix it, we want to go ahead and give them a display to be blocked. Okay, because the span tag, it's one of the tag that align. So if we keep adding spans, then they will be in the same line, and we want to break this rule by setting the display to be blocked. So here I'm just gonna type course underscore author. Okay, I'm gonna say the display of it to be blocked. If we switch back to the web browser, we can see it will drop to a new line. And indeed, now do not worry about the price position. I'm gonna change it, but I really do not like this font size of the title. I need to make it even smaller. So let's go ahead and, you know what, let's leave it, or I don't like it at all. Okay, so let me try this size. Okay, 1.1, because I do not want the title to drop in a new line. Okay, this is really not what I want. However, I think I am happy with what I have right now, but the only bar is the only thing it is really a problem here is, first of all, the price has to be here on the bottom, as well as I didn't like the margin from the bottom here between the author as well as the title. So we want to fix these two issues. The first one, it is this thing right here, the price. So here on the bottom, I'm just gonna type course underscore price. All right, here I'm gonna use the positioning way of creating my layout. Okay, I'm gonna give it a position to be absolute. Okay, I'm gonna say the bottom should be one rem, and the right will be also one rem. If we switch back, we can see it's been right here. This is not what we want, and the problem is that right here it will be moved to the div. Okay, it will move that right here, these values we are push it from the bottom to be one rem, and from the right also one rem. This movement will be relevant to the HTML document. Okay, we can see it's not what we are looking for. So that's why, in order for us to fix it and tell it, hey, this value should be relevant to its parent, I want to push it here. Okay, and here I want to target their parent, which is the course, and make the position of it to be relevant. Now these values will be calculated depend or relevant to this parent right here, which will be right here. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and increase the font size. So the font size will be, let's say 1.5 or something is bigger, because we want to attract the user to this thing right here. And also I'm going to change the font weight to be like 400 or even more if we want. Yeah, like this. And now it's time for us to fix the area between the author as well as the title, right? So the area here for the title, I'm gonna say margin one rem from the top. Okay, and here I'm gonna set 0, okay, from the left, and from the bottom let's give it 0.5 rem, and also from the left 0, because here we are reset it. Okay, no, it doesn't really matter if you set 0 right here, because this here will overwrite the margin left here 0. All right, so if we switch back, we can see how it's look like. Okay, and the only thing that is missing is to decrease the size of the author. So course author right here, I'm gonna say font size to be 0.8 maybe rem. We can see it's now smaller, and I like it. So as you can see, ladies and gentlemen, this is the style that really, it is much nicer than what we have now. Feel free to go ahead and, let's say, mess around with this, add your own values, check out how it's gonna look. I know that it is not the best style that we can see, but this is at least will go ahead and do the job, because we want to focus on the React part of doing things. However, thank you, ladies and gentlemen. In the next video, we are going to fix some bugs and issues with our code, and we are going to talk about conditional rendering. See you in the next one.